To imagine the possibility that the entire universe could be conscious, we first need to rethink everything we believe we know about consciousness itself. Normally, most people think consciousness comes from our brain, end of story. But what if that's just the beginning? In recent years, an idea called integrated information theory has emerged, proposing something mind-bending. Maybe consciousness isn't exclusive to brains, but instead is present throughout the universe, in everything, just at different levels. Think about temperature, for example. Everything in the universe has a temperature, from the coldest regions of deep space to the hottest stars. It's not a yes or no question. It's a matter of degrees, of intensity. What if consciousness worked the same way? Let's start with what we do know. Right now, inside your brain, billions of neurons are communicating, sending signals in stunning synchronicity. On its own, a single neuron isn't conscious, but together, they create the experience you call I. Here's the curious part. This pattern of networks exchanging information doesn't only exist in brains. It's also found in underground fungal networks that link trees and forests, sharing nutrients and data. It appears in how galaxies are arranged too, connected by invisible filaments of dark matter, forming what astronomers call the cosmic web. And of course, it shows up in the internet, billions of computers exchanging information in a vast network. These patterns, networks within networks that communicate and create something greater than the sum of their parts, are scattered throughout the cosmos. And on the quantum level, things get even stranger. Particles can behave as if they communicate instantly, no matter how far apart they are, what Einstein called spooky action at a distance, which we now know as quantum entanglement. Now think about this. The universe is made up of billions of galaxies, each with billions of stars, all connected by this massive invisible network. If consciousness arises from interconnected systems exchanging information, could the universe itself be forming a kind of consciousness on a gigantic scale? But how would that organize itself? The answer might lie in something called self-organization. No one has to teach a snowflake how to grow its intricate patterns. It just happens. We see this in the spirals of galaxies, the hexagons and honeycombs, the ripples of sand dunes. The universe has this mysterious ability to create order from chaos, with no one telling it how. It's been like this since the beginning. Simple particles came together to form atoms, which grouped into molecules, which formed stars and planets. Life emerged from simple forms and grew ever more complex until we arrived here, conscious, looking back at it all, trying to understand. Scientists have even recreated this kind of behavior in computers. With just a few basic rules and enough time, complex patterns appear that look like living systems. Even more amazing, the way our brains grow and organize themselves closely resembles the pattern of the cosmic web that formed over billions of years. So imagine this. What if consciousness didn't suddenly appear in brains, but instead is the natural result of the universe's tendency to build systems that are ever more organized and complex? Recent research suggests that consciousness emerges when a system reaches a certain level of complexity and information integration, like water freezing into ice at 0 degrees C. If that's true and the universe is a giant system becoming ever more complex, could it be slowly waking up? And is there any way to detect that? The famous double-slit experiment already gave us strange hints. Particles behave like waves and create interference patterns when no one is watching. But when we try to measure which slit the particle goes through, the pattern disappears, as if the act of observing changes the behavior of matter. Then there's quantum entanglement, where two particles become so connected that changing one instantly affects the other, even if they're on opposite sides of the universe. And in 2022, an experiment suggested that space-time itself might be entangled at the quantum level, as if there's an invisible nervous system connecting everything. Even more surprising, recent research hints that quantum systems may have something like memory. Changing something in the present could affect the past, as if matter itself can learn and adapt. These behaviors, connection, memory, adaptation, are the basic traits of consciousness, and they seem to be woven into the very structure of the universe. Some scientists now propose that space, time, and matter might all be consequences of something more fundamental: information. Just like your consciousness is born from the information exchanged among your neurons. If that's true, then everything we call reality, your phone, this conversation, you, me, the stars, might be more like a thought than a physical thing. A vast cosmic computation playing out on the grandest scale. Today, scientists are working to test these ideas. They search for patterns in the background radiation of space that might reveal the universe's hidden structure. They're trying to build quantum computers that could simulate consciousness. And if the universe really is conscious, exchanging information at every scale, that changes everything. Who are we really? Just tiny expressions of a larger mind. Since ancient times, humanity has wondered if there was something more behind reality. Ancient cultures believed that rivers, mountains, and stars had a spirit. Modern science dismissed those ideas as superstition. But now, cutting-edge physics suggests they may not have been so wrong after all, not in a mystical sense but in a mathematical one. This idea is called panpsychism, the notion that consciousness is a fundamental feature of the universe. For a long time, this was dismissed as fringe philosophy, but today, respected physicists and philosophers are taking the hypothesis seriously. They ask, what if consciousness isn't created by the brain but received by it? Like a radio doesn't make music, it picks up signals. If that's true, it changes everything: the meaning of life, the possibility of other consciousnesses in the universe, and even what might happen after death. Evolution, which we've always seen as random, might not be so accidental after all. If the universe naturally tends to produce consciousness and complexity, maybe conscious life is its way of knowing itself. Of course, this doesn't mean each atom thinks. Remember the temperature analogy. Consciousness might exist in varying degrees. A simple object, almost none. An animal, more. A human, much more. And the entire universe? Well, that's why scientists today are looking for ways to measure this possible consciousness spread across the cosmos. They're trying to understand how complex systems emerge and evolve, maybe even to measure consciousness itself. But perhaps the deepest conclusion of all is this: if the universe is conscious, then we're not just living inside it, we are it. Every discovery, every feeling, every question might be the universe becoming more aware of itself. Like we said at the start, your consciousness arises from billions of connected neurons. Maybe each of us is just a single point in an immense network far beyond anything we can imagine. And judging by the clues and patterns, we may be close to the greatest discovery ever made. Consciousness isn't just something we have, it's what we are. And it fills everything from the smallest to the largest. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you for following us on this journey, and see you soon.